it was an interception, so not all 21 points are on the defensive side. But what do you guys have to do now? When I look at defense, the teams you're up against in the third and fourth quarter, and now the other night, even though Murphy in the second quarter, these guys are not matching up to you. You're shutting down. What do you got to do to come out on the field from that kickoff and execute that for 4 quarters?
We just got to play a lot faster. Everybody's been starting slow in that first quarter, and that's where it kind of messed us up in that game because we let them put 21 on the board in the first quarter.
But you know you're matching up with anybody in your region. And Lucas, let me look here real quick. 9 tackles, 1 assist. What's it like for you this season back there in this defense? What's it like for you compared to years in the past and the team, the defensive side of the ball this year?
I think we're doing pretty good. Last year I played defensive end, so that's a little different from when I'm playing linebacker this year. But overall, we're about, pretty much the same defense we ran last year, so it's pretty normal.
Coach, what are some of the biggest adjustments that you feel you've had to make to get ready for region football this upcoming Friday night?
Well, first and foremost, you start with David. That was one of the reasons we brought him here, kind of put him in the limelight, with injury to Tyler. And David's ready. We keep telling him he can't play. He can't be a freshman. He doesn't have a choice. And then so the quarterback's been a big adjustment. And then we've had to make some shifts and movements along the offensive line. Really the only thing that has been a stalwart for us has been, Russell at running back, and then we've been able to find our 4 receivers that we can really rely on. Defensively in the secondary, we've had to move some people around. I think that people are going to see some new faces and new positions this week, and I think it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. Sean does a great job there, Coach Tome, and just trying to the most important place for us is the offensive line and trying to move those kids around and, maybe take a kid from the defensive side of the ball. We played Austin Lacey a bunch over there last week and just going back to where finding those 5 guys that can mesh and play together without a Garrett Sellers who's he'll be out for tomorrow night, and then we got to kind of see where he stands for the rest of the season. So, and that's tough. That's a big loss for us as a Navy commit, coming into that's somebody that you can rely on. He's a captain for us. But, we're just having to start not from scratch, but see where the pieces fit in.
Coach, you've been coaching for quite some time, and we never nothing about injury do we like, or we hope that everybody goes throughout the season with no injuries. But you know what it's like to come in Monday morning and have to start adjusting, and that's part of the job, having to adjust when you do. I think maybe the line, and I couldn't agree more. The loss of Garrett right now at center, but still the line provided enough room for Russell to get over 200 yards the other night. So what do you think about how your line played Friday night?
I think they definitely made a big improvement from the Dawson game. I mean, there's no holds barred on that one, that they just didn't play well for Dawson, whatever it was. And, for the Murphy game, yes, we played well, but we just have too many, just stupid mistakes and at just crucial times. The ball that Russell got called back on the touchdown, it was a 41-yard touchdown run. We get some momentum swing right there, and we still ended up scoring on that drive, but just having to drive the ball again. And it was just a play that just wasn't smart by the kid that did it. And, and then other ones where it's 3rd and 1, and we talked about situational football last time, and we continue to talk about it this week, that, 3rd and 1, and we leave the nose guard unblocked. That, we have a center and a right guard that both just leave and think that, one of the guys thought he had him and he thought he had him, and just getting things like that cleaned up to where it doesn't have. But they did play a lot better. We had we had decent time for David to throw. He was able to put on some scrambling shows every now and then, but he does a good job keeping his eyes downfield and elongating the plays, kind of like a Roethlisberger or somebody like that would do, a Favre used to. That he's not going to sit back in the pocket and just let it come to him. He's going to go make things happen.
I like the Big Ben reference. You're all right with me now.
Yeah.
You're all right now. You gave me the big. You're all right with me now. I gave you that. What he was saying, and I want to go back to that. Unless you have the W on the board, sometimes people can't find the upside. Okay, they can't unless the W is on there. But if you bring up the Dawson, I believe in facts, the reality. The only time you got in the end zone was a direct snap to Thaddeus, 5 yards out, and we got to deal with it. Dawson had 2 penalties, and it actually moved you 30 yards up there to get in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
You went over to Murphy. You don't have the W on the board, but you got 4 touchdowns. You got in the end zone 4 times. And I think it's something you had to do, right, Coach? I mean, you had to switch it around from Dawson not getting into the end zone more than once and getting in there 4 times. I'm going to tell you again, you did an outstanding job getting in the end zone 4 times the other night. Russell, let me give you a couple stats here before we go to our first break. Russell carried for 31 yards, 31 carries for 212 yards, averaging 6.8. Long one, 53 for a touchdown. Jake Parker had 1 carry for 2 yards. Thaddeus had 8 carries for 31 yards, averaging 3.9. And David, you had 4 carries for 18 yards, averaging 4.5. Averaging 6 yards a carry, Coach. And sometimes you have a big one for 53, and that makes that average. But as you well know, if you can touch the ball and get 4 yards 3 times, you got a first down. And you have to come away from last Friday night happy with the ground game.
Yeah, it's not bad. And again, we try and focus on snaps. How many times can we snap the ball during the game? Because we always think that the more times you snap it, the more opportunities that is for you to score. That also means that our tempo is up and we're snapping the ball right when the referee blows it in. Last game we had 80 snaps.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which is phenomenal. I mean, our goal is 65. So we blew that out of the water. Our problem is our third down conversions. We're 9 of 16, which also almost reached our goal of 65%. We're sitting right there at 58. But we're having too many third downs. We're not having enough explosive plays to where we're not having to maybe snap the ball as often, but get those long runs like you're talking about. Now, knowing, the 6 yards of carry, that's exactly right. Russell had a 50-yarder. We had a couple, that were 20, but we're still having too many of the zeros and ones.
Right.
Where it's just, just a mental lapse for a couple seconds. And we tell our kids, we don't huddle. We don't allow them time to maybe slow down, look at how everybody's lined up. And we just got to snap the ball and go and just trust what you've been taught and told and getting the 1s and 2s and everybody reps in practice. That's one thing that David, wasn't just thrown in cold necessarily as far as, he gets a lot of practice reps when he was behind Tyler. Just the same way that, losing Garrett is huge as far as his playing ability, but as far as us having to put someone else in there for him, it's not like we had to start from scratch. We had 3 kids that were rotating in there, and we just have to see which ones fit the best that way.
We're going to have some different guys on the couch in our second segment. I want to ask you, Lucas, you've been in big games. You've played in big games. I've seen you on the sideline. You've traveled to all these teams. You've played these teams. Cartersville, what are you seeing? It's gonna you got your work cut out for you on the defensive side. What are you seeing this week? How you guys getting up for that on the defensive side, preparing for that?
I think they're going to have a real heavy passing game. A lot of passes, and they do have a good running back that'll run the ball. So, we're kind of doing a lot of passing and a lot of run, but other than that, just play it normal.
You guys have played in big games before, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, we can do this thing.
Yes,
man.
sir.
We can do this. All right. Okay. Did you enjoy Friday night?
Not as much as I would have if we would have won it.
Okay. All right. All right. But how about getting a full game under your belt? Are you excited about this week, knowing some things that you're going to be facing that were first-time things you faced last week at Murphy?
Yes, sir. And it's going to be a challenge this week.
That's okay, David. Don't. That's okay. That's okay. But you know what? We can do this. We've been in big games before. We can do this. Region play Friday night. We're going to Cartersville. We're going to make this thing happen. We're going to be back right after this break with Coach. Our next guest will be Kel Kiker, defensive back. Wide receiver Drake Crump will be in the next segment. We're going to get these guys in here. We're going to talk a little more about region play because I'm telling you, we're going to start keeping a little closer stats as we get into region play. You know how the show went last year. We're going to tighten up now and start talking about these teams all around the region and what's going on every Thursday night. I'm BKP. You're watching Bobcats Beyond the Field. We're here at Circuit World in East LJ. Want to thank Shane's Rib Shack for providing the meal for the players and the coach, also for Pepsi for our drinks. We'll be back after these brief messages.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
J Tire Company since 1955. With a huge range of tires at the lowest price and fast, hassle-free service, J Tire is all you need every time. J Tire carries only the top brands in the industry: Cooper, Michelin, Mickey Thompson, Pirelli, and Yokohama. Stop in and let AES certified mechanics change your oil today. Life doesn't slow down for car maintenance, and J Tire won't either. If your car is tired of its tires, go to J Tire.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
El Rey and J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and J.
Let it ride during the Lucky 7 sales event at Lifetime Kia. Come try your luck in the Money Machine. Yes, come take a test drive and you get a chance to grab for cash in the Money Machine. Plus, shop big-time savings on every vehicle in stock. And remember, Kias come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And Lifetime Kia will extend that warranty for as long as you own it. Come try your luck in the Money Machine and experience the savings at Lifetime Kia.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Only one thing beats a day's price on a new Chevy. It's our pre-owned price. Now at the Days Chevy Jasper Pre-Owned Super Center. Save thousands off original MSRP on the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in the North Georgia mountains. Cars, trucks, SUVs, even luxury vehicles. Many with factory warranty. And all thousands below new car prices. We can even help rebuild your credit. Save thousands today at the Days Chevy Jasper Pre-Owned Super Center. The North Georgia mountains big volume, low price leader.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Okay, and we're back. We're back here. It's you're watching Bobcats Beyond the Field Thursday night here at Circuit World in East LJ. let me just say something real quick about Circuit World here at East LJ. They're offering you 10% off. If you come in, your very first purchase here at Circuit World in East LJ, you will receive 10% off. Come in here, tell them fetchyournews.com. Team FYN Sports sent you in here. So, Bobcats Beyond the Field, we want to thank Shane's Rib Shack for providing the meal for the players and the coach tonight. Pepsi for providing drinks. We're here with head coach Zach Grage of the Gilmer County Bobcats. We've got on the couch with us now defensive back Kel Kiker. Happy to have you, Kel, and Drake Crump. Guys, you're in the second half of the segment, but we are going to get into discussing. We're going to get into discussing going down to Cartersville and region play. You guys have played 3 games. What are some of the biggest adjustments you've done in the 3 games, or in your positions that you've played in the 3 games that you've seen adjustments in getting ready for region play?
For us personally on offense, I think that we've not necessarily, we've changed scheme, we've installed new plays, but I think it's really the mindset of just enjoying football. It's a game, just enjoying being out there, and having fun while you're out there. I think one of the adjustments is really the mindset that we're having coming into this one. It's not like it is a job. You want to get your job done. You have your assignment you got to do. But I think overall one thing that's helped ease pressure, I think one reason maybe we start slow is because we maybe aren't – it's not that we're not ready, but we're not – it's like we don't have a reason to play sometimes, but then we just got to realize to have fun and go out there and have a good mindset that, we got a chance to win. We can win this and just have fun.
We can do this. Kel, talk about you've seen 3 different quarterbacks. You've seen guys that really air the ball out. You've seen several different receivers. What has that done for you getting ready to go into region play?
Well, starting off at the beginning of the year, getting to our first game, we were making some simple mistakes. But coming through, we've kind of started solving on those mistakes in the secondary. Hopefully we can come out against Cartersville with some faster guys, some more athletic guys, and get the job done.
Coach, let me ask you about Cartersville. We know who we're going up against Friday night. This guy is 300 and some yards in the air last week. He's a top prospect. There's a whole lot of hype here. Mm-hmm. Preparing for a game like you've prepared for games like this, preparing for a game like that, knowing you're going to go see some high-powered offense. Talk about going and playing a team like Cartersville.
First off, they're well coached. I mean, Coach King does a fantastic job over there, and I hope people don't get caught too much on Trevor Lawrence as the quarterback, and
right.
He's phenomenal. The #1 sophomore quarterback in the country, and all accolades are well deserved. But you can't forget it all about Lucas mentioned the running back. Forrestall, they've got an Alabama tight end commit. They have 2 receivers that, probably 2 of the better receivers that we'll see our year. And then the guys that they have surrounding them. Nobody even talks about their defense. With Lawrence over there on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, it's going to be the most athletic team that we'll face all year. Again, fly around. When they hit you, they want you to know it. And they're going to be very sound. They don't do a whole lot on defense, but they're going to be very, very good at what they do. And when you prepare for a team like that, again, you focus more like what Drake was talking about. We've been extremely loose this week. The kids, all the way from 1 down to 99, everybody's been very loose. We've had a great week of practice, and you can tell the energy's kind of ramped up because it is region play. Whether you're playing Cartersville or Pickens, or it shouldn't change. It's still region play. It's the first week of the real season, and when you prepare for it, you still put in your new schemes and your new things you want to do, and try and match your personnel up, and hope that. The ball, that's why football is in funny shape, that, a couple of those things have to roll your way, and you see what happens. We've told our kids we're going to try and keep it close to the fourth quarter, and hopefully, see what happens then. You got the last 12 minutes where we feel strongly about our conditioning and what we'll be doing in the weight room, and then who knows what happens in that last quarter.
Well, I like what you said there. Trevor Lawrence, you could get stuck on a player. But the defense, North Cobb, when they played North Cobb, I think they gave up 31 or something like that. They did give up some points. They still won the game, but that's the only game they really gave up points. The first game of the season, they gave up 7, and then last week they gave up 0 against Paulding, I think it was. Mm-hmm. They are a tough defense. When everybody thinks of Trevor Lawrence, on the opposite side of the ball, they're not giving anything up.
Right.
So adjusting your offense and looking at that, what do you see this week going up against that defense?
I mean,
with
people
your
have talked
offense?
about. It's funny to field the conversations or the suggestions from some people that are we going to hold the ball? Are we going to huddle this week? Are we going to try and keep it away from them? And it was funny because again, when I was in Ultra, we had people that try and do that to us, and it didn't matter. I mean, it was just one of those that if you want to hold the ball, and we're still going to go out and score, and that's the mindset we have. We're not going to change anything that we do as far as what we base our program and our philosophies on. Now, are we going to change our run pass combos? We did a great job this week of going back as a staff and looking at self-scouting,
Right.
looking at what we do out of certain formations and what we do on certain downs, and it was one of those. It was an eye-opening experience for especially our guys on the offensive staff that were on first down, this is what we were doing. Second down, this is what we were doing. If a good defensive coach does his job, it wasn't going to be tough to know what we were doing in certain situations as far as tendencies. So, we've tried to go through our script and break some tendencies this week. Just try and flood the computer with information for the teams we face in the upcoming weeks. But are you going to stop Cartersville? Who knows? If they stop themselves, we just got to capitalize on it. And if we are fortunate enough to make some plays, and like I say, keep it close till the fourth, and just see what happens.
On the offense, you've been watching some film this week of their defense, and what are you seeing there?
Both of their corners are really good. They have a really good box. They have just a solid defense in general. We've been working on we've been really working on our short game, and it's not that we don't have a long game. We can definitely capitalize off of that. But one thing that I think we put a lot of focus on is our short game and getting the ball out early, so we can maybe get some good plays and get the ball moving on first and second, not only just third and fourth down, but getting the ball moving early.
Is he on the coaching staff or something?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
We'll take that. Okay, Kel, on the other side, going up against this guy that really can light this guy up, and we know that. We know the facts are out there. What are you guys seeing in his film that you're trying to prepare for this week?
Well, we've been watching a bunch. They also run they try to hit some quick stuff against some of these other teams. But a bunch of these other teams have been playing cover 2, and they haven't really been putting pressure. They've just been laying back and letting them catch the ball. Maybe we can change things up from that standpoint a little bit. Maybe not. We'll just have to see. Watching film, you can't really tell if they run a hurry-up offense, but maybe we can adjust and see what it looks like from there.
Coach, getting ready on the offense. We talked about the defensive side, looking at them on the offense. How have you been preparing that this week? We talked about their defense, preparing their offense. Let me flip that around. Your defense getting ready for their offense. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. That defensive side, I know Sean's not with us tonight, but what's he seeing on that side that he's trying to adjust for?
Again, it's trying to just corral their athletes, and you can't focus so much on Forrestall or any of your other guys. You've got to, because they're going to hurt you with one or the other. They're good enough, and Trevor's good enough sitting back there, and Coach King, they do a fantastic job that where if you try and take away one thing they do, then they're going to be able to try and adjust themselves to try and attack you some other way. So he's been doing a great job of just trying to make sure our kids are where they're supposed to be, that they're fundamentally sound, that we put them in the best position to be successful, and then see what happens. I mean, it's just one of those, you just kind of roll the dice out there, and if the kids are well coached, the kids are flying around, they know where to line up, they're not going to be in the wrong position at the wrong time. We understand angles. This is another one where we have to understand the speed of the game. These kids can run.
Right.
It's one of those, and this is exactly why we had the Pebblebrook scrimmage at the beginning of the season, that we wanted to see a fast team, and it was just to prepare us for this week. And Ridgeland and some other Northwest has guys that can fly around, and hopefully we see that we don't have to take that first quarter or that second quarter to understand, okay, these kids are fast. So good angles, good fundamentals, and then mixing up what we do on defense, mixing up our special teams is going to be all new this week. We try to preach to the kids that we have a 3-part season. We got a 9-region, a region, and a playoff. And during those 3 different sessions, then you're going to see a whole new, whether it's different energy from the coaching staff, and it's all formulated out as a plan before the season even starts. They don't know that, but we've already gone in and said that. So we have all new special teams look this week. We have not a new defensive scheme, but maybe just different mentality, the way we do things. Like Drake said, offensively we really changed not our philosophies or what we do, but kind of what we decided to focus on this week, whether it was screens last week and 90 game, our vertical game. Maybe this week was more of the short game. You know, what are we going to do to kind of make people say, oh, you know, it's a little bit different. They're not prepared for it.
Well, I will say this. I appreciate you bringing Pebblebrook up, because I, for one, when we went down to scrimmage at Pebblebrook, I didn't know why we had to drive all this distance to go play this team. I'm just joking. I'm like, why we got to go? But when we got there and I watched the scrimmage, I must agree that it was best you've seen that kind of speed and the team seen that speed. So you are able to go back to that and reference that kind of speed in preparing this week for the challenge with Cartersville. So,
Absolutely. And just looking at, you know, preparing it with our scout team, we give the best look that we possibly can, but it's not going to be, you know, what they see tomorrow night.
Hey guys, we're getting ready to close out tonight, and I want to say this to all the Bobcats, all the Bobcats out there, on the sideline, fans and everybody. On Saturday, we're now watching Chubb play football for Georgia, right?
Yes,
we're
sir.
all watching him play. The only team to hold him under 100 yards was who?
Us.
The Gilmer Bobcats, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? Only team to hold Nick Chubb under 100 yards was the Gilmer Bobcats, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when you get down there Friday night, those are just guys coming out there to play football just like you,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Good with that? Okay. Hey, Thursday night here, Bobcats Beyond the Field. I can't wait to get down there, as you could tell. I don't think it's hard for you to figure out. I cannot wait for Friday night on the sideline with these young men, and it's such a joy that I get to go do that. Very blessed to do that. Want to say that. Also, don't forget, Team FYN Sports, always dedicated to promoting and highlighting young athletes in a positive way. I'm BKP. You've been watching Bobcats Beyond the Field. We want to thank Shane's Rib Shack for providing a meal for the coaches and the players every Thursday night. Pepsi for providing drinks. We want to thank head coach Zach Grage for being with us. Also, Lucas Bramlett, David Smith, Kel Kiker, and Drake Crump. We're headed down Friday night. Tomorrow night, we're headed down to Cartersville. Come on down, support the team. Kickoff 7:30. It's region football time. High school, can't beat it. We'll see you here again next week.